Well, alright. What is up, my most amazing Media Man fans? This is the Media Man. Tons to talk about. Even so, I am going to keep this a little shorter than normal. Try to do the hour one because you will be hit by a whole lot of media rants this next week due to E3. So this is the pre E3. I did talk a little bit about E3 last media rant number 6. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I'll put a link in the description because it also talks about E3. It's kind of all one big thing. But I've learned more stuff. I've done more research, and there's a lot more to talk about. And I do believe next week I will have several, at least 3 if not more media rants, and each one dedicated to each console, and then whatever else is announced that day. So so kind of stay tuned. I'm going to try and do it live. If I can't do it exactly live, you know, I will be tweeting, hopefully, but and hopefully I'll have some live coverage as it's happening. If not, I'll have it right after. So look forward to that, and I'll give you my thoughts on what's transpired. But in the meantime, let's talk about kind of, you know, what's mostly known. More of this stuff is known that I'm going to talk about today than my last one, because as E3 gets closer, more and more is announced, more and more is confirmed. You know how it is. Usually by the time E3 hits, there's not a whole lot of surprises. I'm hoping that changes some. So, but anyway, let's get to it. Enough chit chat, enough mumbling, or whatever it is I'm doing. Let's talk about the Scorpio first, the Xbox Scorpio. Some of you, and don't worry, Xbox fans, I am not about to bash the console. I've mentioned before I do like it. I've just been really disappointed in the lack of games, because I like Microsoft and because I like the Xbox, because I like all the systems. I want them all to come out swinging. And but I recently got some good news. Super jazzed. They said that their briefing, the Microsoft briefing, is going to be longer than normal because of the games. And if this is true, they could come out swinging, and I hope to see that. You know, they need to announce some stuff, because I don't care how powerful Scorpio is. I'm sorry, Scorpions are there. You know, if there's no games for it, if there's nothing to take advantage of all that power, it's just another dusty console. I'm definitely getting one, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But, you know, if we can get some great announcements, that would be fantastic. I'd love to see Crackdown 3 again. Maybe they'll bring back Scalebound. That'd be great if they did Scalebound, because they're going to do more of a Scorpio kind of version. You know, I know that Darksiders 3 is going to be announced. I'd love to see that on the Scorpio. You know, a ton of stuff. You know, I'm an action RPG guy. I'm a loot guy. That kind of stuff. I want to see some surprises. We already know Sony's going to come out swinging. I'll talk about them in a little bit, but would absolutely love to see Microsoft just, you know, show everybody wrong. Show that everybody was wrong about them not having any games, that they have some stuff to surprise us. And I do believe they will, because Microsoft is not a stupid company. You know, they made some bad choices. Connect. But and I know some of you guys may love that, but you know, I had it for about a week and then sold it just because it kept following me. Walk into the room, hello, Media Man. It's kind of creepy. Anyway, but they are a smart company. I don't think they're going to roll over, and I do think we're going to see some great games. You know, like Crackdown 3. I'm sure the new Forza will be shown, and that'll probably be amazing. At this point in time, you know, I would be happy with games just looking that much better. Kind of like the Pro has a boost mode. You know, if the Scorpio can have a boost mode and the games just get extra detail and all that stuff, that would be cool. I would love to see, you know, mods, you know, all of a sudden be able to put some mods on the Scorpio, like for Elder Scrolls, you know, for Skyrim, that you normally couldn't do on the Xbox One S or the Xbox One. You know, either way, same power. So I would love to see that. I would love to see some surprises, just coming out with the Scorpio, and just, you know, like Sony always does that reel with all those really cool looking games. Microsoft needs to do something like that. They did say There's going to be about 90 seconds of speaking, and the rest of it's going to be all gameplay stuff. So hopefully that's true, and hopefully they just come out swinging. I would love to, absolutely love to see it. So yeah, the other thing that they announced, and I thought was kind of cool, is that there's going to be 9 gigs of usable RAM. Now there's been some confusion. Some people are saying, yeah, but they said that there was going to be 12 gigs. Well, there is, but much like PCs, especially with these new powerful systems that are running a lot of stuff in the background and making sure everything runs smooth and all that stuff, and especially those recording capabilities, and we'll talk about that in just a sec. Not all the RAM is going to go towards the game. So there is 12 gigs of RAM, and normally what they had said is there's going to be 8 gigs dedicated for developers to develop their games and for us to play the games, for it to run the game smoothly, 4K, anti-aliasing, you know, all the fancy bloom effects, everything you can imagine it's going to be able to throw at it. They're talking about, you know, they were talking about 8 gigs of RAM. So they just recently mentioned that it's actually going to be 9 gigs of RAM. So it's a whole nother gig, which means 3 gigs is only going to be dedicated to the system, and the rest of it is going to be open for developers, which is a whole heck of a lot of RAM. It is challenging some computers, not just the RAM, but the system itself. Better than some mid computers, probably even more powerful than mine at this point. Even though I still consider mine kind of a beast, in all reality, there's some amazing stuff coming out. But for consoles, this thing is just going to be a complete ridiculous beast. And I do think they're going to come out swinging with some games, so I am really looking forward to it, more so than before. And no, Microsoft didn't send me a check between the last few media rants. I am just paying attention, doing my research, you know, and I'm really rooting for Phil Spencer and company, that they just come out and, you know, and even if you don't like Microsoft, you want them to have good games, because that's going to put Sony on their toes, and so that they bring out stuff. I think it's just going to be amazing E3. And hopefully I'll be there next year, but I definitely will be covering it for you guys, so stay tuned to this channel, you know, and hopefully I'll have some live stuff for you. But if not, I'll definitely have some, you know, several media rants next week. So yeah, so kind of look forward to that. But, you know, the other thing I wanted to talk about when it came to the Xbox is there's been rumor that people have been talking about how great it is going to be for streaming. Now, one of the things that bothered me on the Xbox One, as a YouTuber, as someone who, you know, I don't really stream as much. I may start doing that this year. I'll make an announcement if I decide to do that, because I do have some connections to Twitch, and I already have an account and all that stuff. Maybe do some YouTube stuff. Kind of looking at my time and maybe seeing some summer stuff. But we'll see. I'll definitely let you guys know. But back to the point is, Microsoft is saying that, or not Microsoft, I'm saying other people are saying that this Scorpio is phenomenal for streaming, for broadcasting, for any of that stuff, YouTube videos, that they're going to do it right with this. And like I was saying, I apologize, I kind of went off on a rant. One of my biggest things, MediaRant, right, for Xbox One is, you know, you could do like 5 minutes. Now, I'm not talking about with the Elgato. I understand how to use an Elgato and all that, but one of the things I loved about the PS4, or love about the PS4, is that you can plug in your headset and just kind of record, and it sounds pretty darn good. Not as good as this recording, because this is a professional mic and all that stuff, but for going through a headset and for going straight through the console, it sounds great. And I'm hoping that Scorpio comes out swinging. Again, I keep saying comes out swinging because I really want to see him do well, but and just nail that, because that's another part that's gonna sell the console for me. That's gonna get me to sell my Xbox One S and put the money towards that. Now, the other thing to think about, and I'd love to hear what you guys think of the comments, or yeah, you know, is how much is this thing gonna be? I've heard 400. I've heard 500. I've heard someone even said 300. I don't think it'll be 300. I think it'll be 399, 450 at the most. I don't think they'll hit past 500. I've even heard 6, even though it's a premium console. I don't think Microsoft wants to be that much more expensive than the Pro, because yes, it's a much more powerful system. But you know, for $500-600, you're talking about a really nice graphics card, some extra RAM for your computer, you just don't want to, price yourself out. Plus, people don't really understand in general, except for hardcore gamers like ourselves, like the power thing. Like, why are they selling a console for $600? So I think that Microsoft's going to keep it so that mom and dad can save up and afford it for Christmas, so that it can be a family thing, so that it's not just for the hardcore. And I think they're really going to support it for a long time coming. So I am excited about it. I am really happy with, what I know of it, and it's sounding better and better as it goes. And again, I will have one in my hands. I do plan on reserving it as soon as I can, and of course I'll do an unboxing when it comes out and all that good stuff. So yeah, so there you go. Like I said, more excited about the Scorpio, hoping it does really, really well. So the next thing I want to talk about is Sony. Now, I have been talking about how Sony is just going to take E3. I believe I said that I mentioned that as far as games, they're going to have all the games. I do think more now that Microsoft is going to come out swinging a bit and have challenge Sony more in the games department. I still think Sony's going to have going to win, or I'd say win, but they're going to have more games at E3, I think, than anybody else. Just to kind of give you an idea, they've announced most of these are confirmed. I think there's a few that aren't 100% confirmed, but they're pretty sure on it. Days Gone, that cool-looking zombie shooter, third person, looks amazing. Death Stranding, from Kojima-san, Hideo Sir. It looks really good. I mean, it's kind of a trip. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm still excited about it because, come on, it's Kojima, and Konami can jump off a bridge. No, I'm kidding. That's terrible, but kind of. Konami can jump off a bridge if they wish. Detroit Become Human, which looks really interesting. So I'm it looks like kind of a quick time thing, but done really well and pretty epic. So we'll kind of see with that one. Some game called Dreams. I don't remember what this one is, to be honest. I know that sounds terrible. I should know all this stuff, but I don't remember. I think it's a cutesy kind of game where you go into people's brains and there's some platforming, and I believe it's a creating thing, kind of like, I believe it's by the same people that did Little Big Planet, if I'm thinking correctly. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. I'll let you know. Hopefully in the description, I'll give you some links to some of these games. Gran Turismo Sport. Now, I'm not a huge racing game fan. Sorry, guys. I'm just not. But I do love Forza. I love Mario Kart, and I've always liked Gran Turismo. So hopefully they come out and we don't just have Forza. I know there's a lot of other great games out there that you guys can tell me that are racing games. I only have so much time, and I'm a huge, well, you guys know, first-person action game, first-person shooter, Elder Scrolls. I mean, I could go down the list. I love all kinds of games, so I don't have time for all, racing. I tend to do a few races, and I'm good, but I always liked Gran Turismo, and so, hopefully that comes out, so we'll have two great racing games besides, of course, Mario Kart. That's its own thing. And the other game, and this might sound kind of funny that I'm kind of jazzed about, is Knack 2. Now, hear me out. I know the first Knack wasn't perfect. I had some fun with it, but there was definitely some frustration. They're working really hard on Knack 2, and I've heard from other people who have actually had some hands-on and tried it out that it's much better than the first one. So I like that. I like the idea behind Knack. So hopefully Knack 2 just takes it to the next level, and we get another good platformer / action game. There's another project something, and I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. So, but some other project game I don't know anything about anyway. But here's one that's interesting, and I'm not 100% sure if this is rumor or officially announced. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced it, but Resistance 4. We haven't had a Resistance in a long time. I love the series, especially the first one. I thought the first one was amazing, but I actually liked all of them. great co-op games. You know, me and my brother used to play all the time together. Just really makes me, you know, pretty jazzed about it and what they could do on the Pro. You know, take advantage of the beast mode, boost mode. Call it beast mode too, or maybe they'll call Scorpio beast mode. I don't know. Spider-Man. Looking forward to Spider-Man. Last of Us Part 2. Who didn't love Last of Us? If you didn't, I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. But the first one was brilliant. Made me cry a whole lot, and you know, it just really emotionally moved me. So I'm super jazzed about The Last of Us Part 2. If you haven't seen it, look up the trailer. I'll try to do a link again below. But if you haven't seen it, look it up. Look up the trailer, and you know, on YouTube. If I don't have it in the description, I'm going to try to have all these in the description as much as I can. Some of them there's no videos for. So, and of course, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which looks great, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, that's not to mention the games that are going to be out by then, that are coming out that they haven't announced. They said there's several surprises. So I'm really jazzed about Sony's showing. Now, there's the other rumors that I'm going to touch on just a little bit. The new handheld from Sony. I don't know if this is going to happen or not. Part of me hopes it does. I really did like the Vita. And for those who are going to say, well, they stole, you know, if they put out another handheld, they're stealing from the Switch and blah, blah. Well, first of all, I don't think it's, if they do, I don't think it's going to be like a Switch, like a hybrid. I think that it's going to work somehow with the PS4. Maybe it'll have close to PS4 graphics, probably better than Switch. But here's the thing too, and you know, now I saw this from someone else, so you know, put whatever stock you want into this, into what I'm about to say. But from what I understand, Sony had some documents out there, some patents and stuff for a Switch-looking device before Nintendo ever made the Switch or ever came out with the Switch. That's hard to prove. And again, I don't remember the source. So yeah, name your sources. But you could probably look it up. Again, if you want to know more, I can look it up myself and let you guys know. And you know, whether that's true or not, I don't mind having two handhelds. I love handhelds. I've got a 3DS and I've got a Switch, and I plan on getting a Vita when I can find a 32 gig card, because I already have several PSP games and Vita games and different things like that I can download straight. So I have a huge library already, just don't have the system. So huge handheld fan. I'd be cool with it. But tell me what you guys think. Would you buy another Sony handheld? Did they burn you too much? I know there's Vita fans and Vita haters, because Sony did kind of hose this when it came to first party stuff. I was hoping for another Uncharted, you know, some other games. We had, you know, Uncharted, and then we had was it Killzone? I think was the one good first person shooter. I think so, because I believe didn't they do a Resistance or something, first person? I think they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right, because hey, he had an axe or something. Anyway, so the Killzone game was pretty good on there, but you know, hoping that I wouldn't mind them announcing one, but I'm not 100% positive on that. You know, this is very much rumor. I've seen it all over YouTube. I've seen people saying it. I've even had I'm sorry, this is hilarious to me, but I've even seen some people doing a Switch versus Vita 2. Now, there is no Vita 2 at this point in time. There's rumor that they're going to announce one, and so that's what it is. Hopefully you guys, you know, you take this stuff with a grain of salt, because when it comes to them releasing another handheld, part of me would love it, and part of me would say, I'm not sure that's a great idea. The PS4 is doing great. I don't think that the Scorpio coming out is going to hurt it. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I don't really think that people are going to go, oh, I don't want a PS4 anymore. They're different beasts altogether. It depends on what you're looking for in your console, and you know, really kind of what they come out with again with the Scorpio. But yeah, so we'll see with the handheld. Let me know, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Do you guys want to see a handheld? Are you just done with Sony handhelds? You just kind of want to get a Switch and a PS4, or a Switch and a Scorpio? What console are you looking forward to? Please no fanboy stuff. I don't do fanboy wars. I love them all. I've told you that before. I'll say it several more times. They're fantastic systems. I want the competition. Switch is amazing. I love the Switch. I love the 3DS. Love the Xbox One S, except for the lack of games. But I like the system a lot. Me and my son still play Minecraft on it all the time, and we have a couple of controllers, so we play a lot of multiplayer stuff. Great system. Love the PS4. Honestly, probably my favorite standard console right now is the PS4, simply because it has all the games. But again, it's not a PS4 is better than Xbox One. But I'm playing a lot more on it. Horizon Zero Dawn. Enough said. Mass Effect runs great on the Pro. They finally fixed some stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm playing with it. A lot of even just Sony exclusives. So I think the system itself is just kicking butt. So, saying that, what is the console you're looking most forward to? What is the news you want to see the most? I'd be really interested in kind of opening up that conversation, find out what you think is going to be at E3. What Switch games you think we'll see a Metroid Prime 4? You think we'll see Smash Brothers? Are they going to announce Pokken Tournament? Well, we'll talk about that in a second when we get to the Switch. But so what do you guys want to see? That's the question for today. But the other thing I want to talk about before I move on to the Switch is Sony is having this big sale right now with a love it or hate it PS4 Slim. So whether you like the Slim or not, or whether you like gold or not, there's a gold PS4 Slim for $249.99. I've got a Pro. I'm not going to pick it up, but it is a darn good deal. And they'll also have DualShock 4s for $39.99. I think they're going on sale now or tomorrow. It might be the 9th. But by the time you hear this, it's probably going to be the 9th anyway. So, but check out their sales. They got a bunch of other games that they don't even have listed that are on sale. There's some for $10, $20, $40. The ones they have listed here are Horizon Zero Dawn for $39.99. If you are a Sony owner, the PS4 owner, pick up Horizon Zero Dawn. It's phenomenal. It's a fantastic, fantastic game. Love it. Don't do a lot of Let's Plays because it is so super huge, and I don't tend to do Let's Plays with things I grind on. Neo, which I planned on picking up. I haven't tried it. I heard it's a lot like Dark Souls and The Witcher kind of combined, and it's got a pretty high difficulty, but a lot of fun. And then, of course, MLB The Show. If you like baseball, this is it. If you're a console owner and you love baseball and you don't have a PS4, maybe pick up a gold one, or maybe the other ones will be on sale as well. And MLB The Show will be $39.99, the latest one. So there you go. But keep an eye on some other sales they'll have, and check out the store because they always do these surprise ones, especially around E3. So, just like I said, some exciting times, some great deals. I don't think Sony's the only one to have deals, but they're the ones that announced them. So, kind of check that out. I wanted to kind of let you know about that. Otherwise, Sony looks real good for E3. I'm sure I'll be super excited when they announce, my next Media Rant. My next Media Rant will be, I'll do it Sunday night, probably post it on Monday. Once I see, if I don't do it live, this might be the first time I stream live. I'll definitely let you know. Check out my Twitter account at MediaMan815, and you can join my MediaMan fans on Twitter, and I'll post an announcement there if I'm able to stream. So I'll let you know then. But yeah, so that's enough about Sony. Like I said, they're going to be great. I think Xbox is going to come out swinging again, be fantastic. So let's talk about the Switch, the little fella, the new guy, the apparently underpowered console, superpowered handheld. That's how I call it. First of all, let me get the white elephant in the room out of the room. Let me just kind of tackle something that's really bugging me. Nintendo earlier this week announced that they're going to have this big Pokemon announcement, this big exciting, Pokemon announcement, and they did. And I'm going to be honest, I was hoping for Stars to be announced. I'm a big Pokemon fan. I love the 3DS games. I am currently playing Sun. Picked up Moon for my son. So, having a blast with those. Plan on picking up X and Y again. I really love that. That's probably my favorite one, to be honest. As far as this 3DS generation. But they didn't announce Pokemon Stars. They announced Pokken Tournament DX. So another remake of a Wii U game, which I'm cool with, I guess, but the hype was so high, and it's not really their fault. They didn't come out and say, oh, it could be Stars. Well, it's kind of their fault. It's kind of... I'm really hoping for a Pokemon game on the Switch in the style of the 3DS. And let's face it is going to happen. Nintendo likes money. At least sometimes I think they like money. But they announced Pokken Tournament DX. That was the 3DS game. And they did announce 2 more Pokemon games, like Pokemon Sun and Moon. Well, actually, they were Pokemon Sun and Moon. It was Pokemon Moon Ultra and Pokemon Sun Ultra, which, I've got mixed feelings about. Yes, extra characters, maybe more animations, I don't know. But, I don't know how many more there was. I honestly, unless I can move my Sun character and Pokemon over to this, and maybe that's the case, I'm not real interested. I don't really want to spend another $40 on a game I feel like I already have recently. So I'm a little disappointed there. But I do got to say, the positive way to see this is they're still supporting the 3DS, which does make me super happy. They also have Ever Oasis. If you guys haven't seen this, check it out. They're supposedly going to have a demo. I think they'll have a demo near E3. And I think it releases shortly after that. I don't remember exactly when. Actually, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to look it up real quick. Yeah, here we go. It actually releases June 23rd. So in 14 days, Ever Oasis will come out, and it looks very Zelda-esque. I'll check out the demo and give you guys early impressions when the demo comes out, but pretty jazzed about it. But they are still supporting the 3DS, and apparently there'll be some 3DS announcements, which I'm jazzed about. But let's get back to the Switch, because everything else is kind of guessing on the 3DS. I don't know what they're going to announce, although I don't know everything they're going to announce on the Switch either. But let's talk about the Switch. Let's get into Nintendo's newest console / handheld, and it really is. I've never seen anything like it, and I think it's brilliant. But I've said that already. It's what the Wii U should have been. So I know there's a lot of great games on the Wii U. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about, as I've mentioned before, I had a Wii U, and I would go into the kitchen. I live in a condo, so it's not that far from my workstation, and I'd go into the kitchen, and I'd lose connection, and it's probably like 10 feet, maybe, if that. So not real impressed. But Switch, I definitely am. I can take it wherever I want. So anyway, but talking about the Switch, I think that, well, first of all, ARMS is going to be out this coming week. I believe it is this coming week. After this, yeah, not this week, obviously, but the next one. So ARMS will be coming out. Cave Story, if you haven't played that, pick it up. You know, it's only like $30, and so that would definitely be worth it. I've heard ARMS is really good. I meant to try it, but I got super busy, so sorry about that, guys. But let's see what. Oh yeah, Splatoon 2 coming out. We already know these. These are things we already know. We already know Super Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fire Emblem Warriors, which I'm really looking forward to because I really like. You know, I like the Nintendo-based properties, Dynasty Warriors type games. In other words, I really like. Well, Dragon Quest isn't really a Nintendo-based property, but it's really good on the Switch. I played the import, so you know I like that one. In Zelda Hyrule Warriors, I played on the 3DS for a while. Need to pick it up again, but it was a lot of fun. Really liked it. I think partly because I love the characters, so I'm pretty jazzed about Fire Emblem Warriors. Some great characters, some great gameplay, I'm sure, and it'll look amazing on the Switch. Now, the other stuff I want to talk about is I would be very surprised if Smash Brothers wasn't announced. In fact, I don't say shocked. That's being dramatic, but I would be super surprised if if we didn't see anything Smash Brother-esque, like a Smash Brothers DX, and if they do the same job, and I'm sure they will, as they did with Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I am super jazzed about it because that is one of my favorite games, along with Zelda. At least when it comes to well, racing games and other stuff, but AAA games. When it comes to AAA games, you know, I got Zelda and Mario Kart. That's about all we have, but they're brilliant. So I would love to see a Smash Brothers. Love the Smash Brothers. Played hours and hours and days and months and years and decades of Smash Brothers since the N64. And they've always been great. So would love to see that with what the Switch can do. One you can bring with you and play with your friends. So really looking forward to that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get in a discussion with that guy. Didn't know he was there. Okay, so yeah, so definitely Switch Brothers, Smash Brothers. That'd be cool. We'll do a Switch Brothers. And I'm thinking, you know, pretty sure they'll do a Metroid 4. There's been so much rumor. Sometimes you hear rumor and it's by a few people or someone starts it and it catches fire, but there's not a whole lot behind it. Metroid 4 just makes sense. First of all, it'd be phenomenal on the tablet. It would be great on the console if you can somehow, you know, well, just the transferring to the TV. Obviously, you can't do the same thing with the Wii U, where you point it at the TV because it's got to be attached. But to the dock. English is hard sometimes. Give me a break. But you know, so I'm looking forward to a Metroid 4 announcement. I would actually really like to see an Animal Crossing. I think that would be really fun. Something you could, you know, just kind of check on throughout the day. Spend a few minutes checking on your guys. You know, I'd still prefer a Fantasy Life because it's one of my favorite games. I'm playing it again as a paladin on the 3DS. So would love to see that. Pretty excited just about the Switch in general, about what the Switch is going to come out with. I think Nintendo's going to just have some great stuff. I'm not sure about Mario and Rabbids, the Rabbids. I found some of the Rabbids games pretty fun. The 3DS Rabbid game, the 2D platformer, I didn't get great reviews, but I thought it was pretty fun. But I'm not real excited about a Mario and Rabbids game unless the Rabbids are the bad guys. And I mean, it depends on how they do it. You know, hopefully they come out, because sometimes they do these gimmicks and they work great, and sometimes not so much. But you know, I do want to have faith in them. I'd like to see what Square Enix comes out for the Switch, because they did say that they were gonna that they really like the Switch and they were really gonna support them, whatever that means. I know there's a few RPGs they've already said are coming out. I would love to see some of the older Final Fantasies come out. I don't know how complicated that is, as far as putting 9 or 7 on there, the original 7. But I'd love to see, a Chrono Trigger would be great. Give me some Chrono Trigger on my Switch I can bring with me. I'm happy. I'm done. The other, of course, some Skyrim. I want to see more Skyrim, and I want a release date for Skyrim so I can really start saving my pennies. Well, not saving my pennies, I can afford it, but you know what I mean, like really just having that to look forward to, because I'm a huge Skyrim fan. I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan. So yeah, hopefully they come out with a bunch more surprises, stuff I wouldn't even think about. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about is the Virtual Console. I mentioned this in my last media rant. I really, really want to see this come out. I really want to see some announcements, maybe even just do kind of a Virtual Console with a handful of games. And there's been rumor that Mother 3 is going to be one of the games for the Virtual Console that's going to come out at E3, or at their Treehouse, or whatever they're calling it. That they're going to announce it, and then it's going to be available on the eShop. I hope so. I would love to see it. People aren't giving Nintendo enough credit for coming out with the Neo Geo games and just filling out their library pretty quick while we wait for the AAA games. There's a lot of good indie games coming on there. It's a great indie machine. It's a great AAA machine. It's just a great machine. But you guys know that. I'm going to make it blush if I keep talking about it. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see some Mother 3, some Mario, like Super Mario World 2, 3, Yoshi's World, whatever. Just some great Nintendo games. They have so many classics that they can pull from. Love to see some of the older Final Fantasies that were on the Super Nintendo. I think they'll come out with mostly NES games, which is fine. I'm not as interested in the NES games. I know I should be, right? Excitebike, whatever. I'm more interested in the Super Nintendo stuff. GameCube. They did say they're going to have GameCube on there. Give me some Super Mario Sunshine, some Luigi's Mansion. I would love, and I've mentioned this before, so if I repeat myself, I apologize. No, I don't apologize. I'm just excited about it. Some Luigi's Mansion, Eternal Darkness. Holy cow. Some Resident Evil. Love some Resident Evil on this handheld. Bring it with me so I can get scared. And I'd love them to have some kind of announcement with the share button. If they could somehow make it so streamers like me could stream some Nintendo games, I would be super jazzed. I don't know how Nintendo would feel about that. I'm not sure, because they can't be protective of the properties, but I would love to see that so that I can just stream some stuff for you, some Nintendo stuff. I already know how to do it through Elgato, but I would love to have it on the handheld. So when I'm away, if I want to do a quick stream of Zelda or Mario Kart or Smash Brothers or whatever else they're going to announce and release, I would love that. So yeah, again, I think Switch is going to have a great thing. I think there's going to be a lot of accessories for the Switch announced at E3, not necessarily with Nintendo, but with some other accessories that maybe they'll announce a couple accessories, but I think there'll be a lot of third-party people coming out, because the Switch is definitely a hit. Love it or hate it, it's selling a ton, as is the PS4. So come on, Microsoft, it's your turn. Let's see what you got. The other thing I'm going to talk about, now I'll have a review out probably in the next week or so. I'm going to be playing a lot of it, but Morrowind Online is brilliant. I love it. I played a couple hours yesterday. I will have a video up of about an hour of gameplay, but it feels like Elder Scrolls. It feels like an Elder Scrolls game, not like an online game. I don't know if that makes any sense. I mean, I just got to the part where there's other people walking around, but you have these missions you go and do. You can roam around as you wish, and just kind of make things happen on your own. It feels like an Elder Scrolls game. When when Elder Scrolls first came out on Elder Scrolls Online, it was okay. I mean, it had a lot of issues. It wasn't as fun as I thought it could be, and they really improved upon it. They've really been working hard to make it, it is Bethesda and this is their baby, and they've just really been putting a lot into it. When it came out, I don't think it was free to play, and now it's free to play, and it's not one of those freemium. You pay, $50, $60 for the game, honestly, if you're not sure on it, try the Tamriel edition, not Morrowind, but the other one, or wait for Morrowind to become used. But actually, it can't become used because when you buy the game, this is important to know. Don't ever buy a used copy of it, because what happens is inside the cover, inside the game itself, is a code. Otherwise, the disc, even though it looks different, is exactly the same as Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Edition without Morrowind, because you have to redeem a code. So it's all on the code. It's all on the paper. So don't throw it away. Don't get excited and throw all the papers away on the box, or throw the box away. Make sure you keep it if you decide to do it. But if you're not sure and you haven't played Elder Scrolls at all, get Elder Scrolls Tamriel Edition. Get a used copy. They're dirt cheap now, under $20. Probably even less than that. And check it out. You can get them at GameStop or wherever. And if you like it, you'll love Morrowind. Morrowind's actually much better, but they're both great games. Same game, but a lot of enhancements for Morrowind, a new character class. Anyway, that's enough ranting about it. This is becoming a review, and that's not what I was going for. I just wanted to recommend it because I really do like it. And they did a fantastic job. Great loot, all that stuff. And yeah, so there you go. This is my media rant for today. I love you guys. I really appreciate. We're getting close to 4,000 subscribers. I believe I'm at 35, 36. I don't know, something like that. It goes up and down. You know how that is. But I'm really appreciated. I just appreciate every single one of you. I love every single one of you. It's not lost on me that you guys choose to follow me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And keep looking at this channel. I have a ton. I'm behind. I've got so much great gameplay, great stuff to show you guys. And Mondays will be Minecraft Monday. I did do a little bit later this week. Everything's kind of been later due to surgery and stuff like that. But yeah, so kind of hang in there with me. The channel is growing thanks to you guys. This is your channel. I'm just the host, and I want to make sure that you guys get what you need. And again, I love y'all. Thank you for joining me for this video. I will see you very soon in the next video. Look for it on Sunday or Monday, hopefully Sunday. But there will be 3 or 4 media rants next week. Probably a summary after all the different ones that'll talk about the different game makers who announce other things. Anyway, bless you guys. Take care. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the notification. You'll know when I'm doing stuff. And most importantly, what I really look forward to is please comment below. Let's talk about E3. Let's talk about what you're looking forward to. Thank you guys for everything. Peace out.